This is Manu and Kalia, physical therapist and Ayurveda herbalist. In this video, I'm going to show you another hip mobility technique. Another way to stretch or mobilize that hip as well as some of the inner thigh muscles. So this is an easy exercise you can do, and it's important to restore hip internal rotation as well as stretch some of the adductors and inner thigh structures. So easy, and you can even use a chair, you can use various things. We're going to use this treatment table here. So in this technique, I am trying to get that internal rotation of that hip. So this could be done on the floor also, but I'm going to use this. It's a little easier. So I'm stretching my left side, and my right leg, my weight is on my right leg on the ground. Now what I want to do is, and I place my knee in about a 90-degree angle. Now I'm targeting, this is the area I'm going to get a stretch on the inner hip, as well as some stretching on the inner thigh too, primarily through here. Now all I do is I'm going to bend my right knee. As I bend my right knee, I drop my body down and I get a stretch right in here, okay? So this internal rotation I'm trying to get in this hip. Just by virtue of my leg being in this position, it kind of opens up everything on the inner side, as well as the inside of the groin. So the hip capsule also is getting the stretch in this position. You want to do is you want to work at dropping down, and you want to try to hit from different angles, okay? So I'm working on going backwards, so I'm trying to see where I feel more restrictions, and when I get to that spot, I can hang out there and I can oscillate, I can go back and forth nice and easy. So I'm stretching that capsule as well as the inner structures, my adductors and other thigh muscles. I use my left hand, I place on the upper part of my thigh, and I stabilize, and I actually maybe apply a little bit of pressure doing a glide in the downward direction at an angle. So when I do that glide, it gives me a stronger pull with that capsule. So I'm maintaining that, and I'm making sure I keep my torso nice and straight. So I'm not bending forward to do that. I'm not going to get as much of a stretch then. You want to maintain upright position, because this is the area you're targeting. You're trying to get that internal rotation. So in addition to dropping down and kind of hitting it from various angles, right? Remember, you can move your foot up too, the front foot, and I can go further. You can go out here, or I can drop back and I can sit back here and try to hit it from different angles, okay? The next thing you can do is, I want to work at doing a little more internal rotation, so I can control that stretch by my pelvis also. So when I do, and I roll my pelvis forward a little bit, so you can see, I'm using my hand to kind of guide my thigh more into internal rotation. Now we're talking about internal rotation of that hip. So I am gliding that forward, come down, roll here, so the pelvis does this. My left pelvis is going forward slightly, and I'm applying some pressure here, and I'm trying to stretch. Internal rotation at the thigh, stretch. Internal rotation, stretch. Internal rotation, stretch. So you can see I can really get to hit it from various angles. All right, it's a pretty cool stretch, and as I say, you can do this on the floor too. But this is one way to get at it. I hope you found that helpful. Please share if you think it can help someone else. It's important for getting that internal rotation at that hip, and important for walking, for running, for various things. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Make sure you check out the site.